I love skincare. It is my happy place. But honestly, there are a few things in the beauty world that drive me absolutely nuts. So today I'm sharing the top 5 skincare pet peeves that bug me the most. And I bet some of these are on your list too. From misleading marketing to things that just don't work properly. And not to worry, this isn't a hate fest. I am not bashing any brands here. And I will always be skin obsessed. But loving skincare doesn't mean we have to love everything about it. You ready? Let the rant begin. Ever so politely, of course. Okay, first up, the one that makes me want to scream in the skincare aisle, it's bad packaging. I cannot tell you how many times I've just loved a formula, but I hated the container it came in. There are pumps that don't pump. There are jars you have to dig your whole hand into. And those dropper bottles that can just waste product and spill everywhere. Now, I do know how hard it is to source product packaging. Because of my day job, we do packaging design for brands, not skincare brands, unfortunately. But let me tell you, it truly makes a difference to the user experience. And some guys really get it right, like airtight pumps, refillable bottles, and even tubes that are light enough to travel with. Others, they don't get it so much. So if I spend $75 on a serum and it's stuck in the wrong bottle that leaks everywhere, it could feel like a letdown, like a waste of money, even if the product is great. Like, it's such a shame. And don't even get me started on excessive outer packaging. Layers of plastic, boxes inside boxes, shrink wrap on top of shrink wrap. Not only is it wasteful, it's just frustrating. And clamshells, forget about it. If I need scissors to open a package, I am in a bad mood, and I've probably cut myself in the process. Now, we know packaging isn't just about looks or the user experience. It protects ingredients, it prevents tampering, prolongs shelf life, and even controls dosages. But sometimes I wonder if they're actually testing their own products over time. I just think the right packaging really matters. And I love when a brand gets it right. It's honestly one of the things that makes me repurchase again and again. So tell me in the comments, what is the worst packaging crime you've ever encountered? Is it pumps that sputter or droppers that drip? I'd really like to hear. Please share. Okay, we're gonna leave the bottles and jars behind for a second because this next one really gets under my skin. It's the term medical grade. Now, as far as I know, and of course I'm not an expert, in most countries, medical grade isn't a regulated term. It's just marketing. A serum labeled medical grade isn't automatically safer, stronger, or more effective than what you're going to find in the drugstore. So why is it so confusing? First, there is no standard. There's no governing body saying what qualifies as medical grade. Any brand can slap that on a label. And I also think there's confusion with prescription products. It makes people think a product is equivalent to a tretinoin or prescription strength hydroquinone, which it's not. And then I think there's this price justification, right? Medical grade makes expensive products sound more exclusive and powerful. And yeah, some brands that use this term, like SkinCeuticals or IS Clinical, do put money into serious clinical studies, and that research is valuable. But there are plenty of over-the-counter products with excellent clinical studies behind them. And there are also plenty of so-called medical grade products that aren't any more effective than what you can find in the drugstore. So here is an Instagram post by cosmetic chemist Julian Sass. Now, I got to meet and hang out with him early this year. He's amazing. And I think he sums it all up here.
Everyone, I have some really bad news. The term medical grade when it comes to skincare is for the most part a lie. And let me tell you why. The term medical grade normally has 3 things attached to it. Usually only sold at derm clinics or at spas. They claim to have a higher concentration of active ingredients, and they're tested to be effective on skin. But none of that is true. First claim, the amount that you can use of a specific active ingredient is dictated for the most part by regulation, not by the medical gradeness of a product. If it's not covered by regulations, the chemical company who sells the ingredient will give the formulators an approximate range that they should normally stay between to get the effects that you want. And then when it comes to being tested to be more effective on skin, any brand can do clinical testing to see if their product is effective. But it doesn't change anything about the actual classification of the product. Talking specifically about sunscreen, medical grade sunscreen isn't going to inherently give you more protection just because it's medical grade. They have to go through the same amount of testing. I work with sunscreen labs that work with everyone from medical grade brands all the way to drugstore brands. Same chemists, same labs, same ingredients. Can medical grade brands have excellent science? Absolutely. I know plenty. A lot of drugstore brands do too. A lot of the most intense clinical testing is done on products made by brands with the most amount of money, which are the big multinational brands, L'Oreal, Unilever, Procter & Gamble, and those companies own the vast majority of the drugstore brands. If you want to use medical grade skincare, go for it. If you like it, I love it. But there's zero guarantee that it'll be in any way superior to any other products.
So there you go. Buy what you want because you like the ingredients and you love what it does for your skin, not because it's medical grade. Cool? Okay, this next one is honestly the bane of my skincare existence. Products that pill. You know the scene. You've carefully applied your beloved products, the ones you've chosen to grace your face, and every layer feels gorgeous as it goes on. And suddenly these little white balls start rolling off your face. Nothing makes me want to scream faster. But you know, it's not really anybody's fault. I mean, sometimes it's formulas not playing nicely together. Maybe it's a little too much silicone. Maybe it's just a little bit of bad luck. But when it does happen, the whole routine is ruined. I have to take it all off and start again. And it's generally when I don't have the time. And I have to try to determine what the culprit is so that it doesn't happen tomorrow. As y'all probably know, I'm a skincare maximalist and I layer a lot of products in a single routine. And I always try to be careful and add only one new product at a time so I can identify how it plays with others and which product is working and not working. But sometimes the pilling stumps me, so I have to back up the truck and figure it out. Sometimes it's a sunscreen or maybe it's a primer that's the offender. And I do look for silicones first to see if that could be causing the trouble, because silicones create a film that can be disrupted by other ingredients. Then there's layering thick creams on top of a lightweight gel. That can cause rolling too. Yes, I've done that. But as much as I hate to say it, layer overload can be the cause of the problem. Let's face it, I am a chronic layer overloader. So my insight here is it's not always my fault, and it doesn't mean that a product is bad. So if I find a culprit, then I'll try to keep the layers a little thinner and then maybe give a little time in between just to let it sink into my skin. And I do try to be mindful of mixing silicone formulas together. And of course, it would be wise to edit down my routine. You know, fewer products chosen wisely usually play together much better than a 10-step experiment. But that wouldn't be me, would it? So guys, tell me, what do you do when something pills? Are there any quick fixes you can share, or do you have to start all over again like I do? I'd love to know if this happens to you guys as much as it happens to me. Okay, here's another one that bugs me. It's the miracle claims. You know, you've seen them. Erase 10 years overnight, instant facelift in a jar, wake up with baby skin. If a cream could erase 10 years overnight, I would be bathing in it and refusing to show my passport ever again. But see, here's the thing. So many brands use this vague but really impressive language to make products feel more scientific than they are. Things like clinically proven, but oftentimes they don't tell you how many people were in the study, what was the methodology, what was measured, was it independent or was it done in-house? One of the things that bothers me the most is the term dermatologist tested. I mean, that could literally mean that one dermatologist took a look at it. It doesn't guarantee safety or results. So the truth is, good skincare does deliver results, but it's about consistent use and realistic expectations. Ingredients like retinoids, peptides, growth factors, and antioxidants, they absolutely can transform skin over time. It's just not overnight. So when you see those miracle promises, I mean, take a step back and look for evidence. Plus, not everyone gets the same results. And I know this from experience. I have seen friends of mine get incredible results from products that are a bit meh for me. We're all unique. Now, having said that, there are definitely products that deliver instant gratification for me, but they never last. Like, I love products that make my skin look dewy and bouncy. It's false, but I'll take it. And I also find that exfoliants can truly make a visible difference to my skin in the morning. But these are short-lived gains, my friends. But I know that. My expectations are realistic. So there are some quick wins, but believe me, no topical product is going to turn back time overnight. This wouldn't be a $6 billion industry if they had cracked it. And finally, the myth that empties wallets everywhere: luxury equals effective. Now this one really bugs me because it makes people feel like if they're not spending hundreds on their routine, they're somehow failing their skin. And that's just not true. There are fantastic products at drugstore prices that do exactly what they claim. Sunscreens that protect, retinoids that smooth fine lines, moisturizers that strengthen the barrier. And sometimes the simplest, most affordable formulas are the most reliable. So I do buy luxury products, but I also know that price does not equal results. I did a whole video on high-end versus budget skincare. So I will put a link to that video here as well as in the description box below. In that video, I developed 2 different routines. One was all luxury and one was all budget. They are both great, and I've used all the products in both these routines because they're really, really good. So I choose to buy luxury for reasons like complex formulations, cutting-edge ingredients, or extensive clinical research, or maybe new encapsulated delivery systems, and maybe just because I freaking like it. So yes, sometimes high-end is worth it, but not always. Expensive packaging, heavy jars, and slick marketing don't equal results. So I pick and choose, and I also alternate. As an example, I may use an expensive copper peptides from Allies of Skin, and when that's empty, I'll flip over to Niche Labs, which is a fraction of the cost. And I do this all the time. So yes, there are things that bug me, but they'll never stop me from being skin obsessed. Because at the end of the day, skincare for me is about joy, not just jars. Now it is your turn. What bugs you? What are the things that drive you crazy? Is it packaging? Is it cost of skincare? Is it over-the-top claims? Please drop your rants in the comments below, because I'd love to know that I'm not the only one that loses my mind sometimes. So if you enjoyed this video and had fun hanging out with us today, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because yes, we love skincare, but we can also laugh a little bit too. We'll see you in the next video. Bye. God, please help me. For someone who talks a lot, how come I can't talk?
I don't know. An enigma.
An enigma. Okay.